and studios not wanting to hire her given the fact that it might result in their movie not making a whole lot of money at the box office.
I very much had no interest in seeing Rachel Zegler in any movies heading into this.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business. Thanks.
She wasn't supposed to be there. She wasn't even on the schedule, but that didn't stop her from showing up.
Rachel, you got time to sign some autographs for us, Rachel? Rachel G? Rachel, got time to sign some, Rachel? Hey, you on the way out?
Just weeks after being removed from the Evita production in what insiders called a full-blown cast rebellion, Rachel Zegler allegedly returned to the theater quietly unannounced and completely uninvited. And what she did next set the entire building on edge.
Zegler is getting a lot of hate, and it's definitely not because she's a person of color. No, it's because in all of her interviews, she seems really young and inexperienced. Not that she is a young and inexperienced actress. No, she's won a Golden Globe, so she should definitely know what she's doing. And when she landed a big role like this and realized that this is not the character that she really wants to portray, she should have given that role to someone who really understands that character and loves that character. And Rachel Zegler should have known that and understood that.
According to multiple backstage sources, Rachel was caught spying on a closed rehearsal, not from the audience seats. Not from the hallway from inside, lurking near the side curtain watching her replacement run through the iconic "Don't Cry for Me." Argentina, like it still belonged to her, but it gets worse.
Thinking she is never getting another main role again because she's got this atrocity on her resume. Having this on your resume is like being a and trying to apply to be a teacher. Get the out of here. Like, am I the only one who can see a world where she's auditioning for another big role for a big film and the director just looks at her and is like, yeah, this you? Worst movie of all time? Yeah, first door on your left. Get the out of here. He ruined her life.
And when cast members spotted her, things exploded. Voices were raised, accusations flew. One source claimed someone screamed, "You're not welcome here," while Rachel allegedly snapped back with, "This role was mine before it was yours." Security was reportedly called, crew members froze. The show was brought to standstill.
Everyone stops giving Rachel Zegler just such a hard time.
Just young women that like, what the is she supposed to do? Don't blame it on a 20-year-old girl. Like, it's just horrible. And also, it just relies. They know that just by throwing a few little things at her, the internet hates women, hates young women that do well. And so they just it's like throwing like
grenade,
a little bit of like food into the sea of piranhas. And then it's just like, get her. And then that becomes the story. And it's really mean.
And just like that, what should have been a quiet rehearsal turned into the most chaotic moment since Rachel's meltdown went viral. But why was she there? Was it obsession, desperation, or something far more calculated? Because if you thought the Rachel Zegler drama was over, you haven't seen anything yet.
And it's lonely. It's very lonely. I just know that if that loneliness can exist, so can other things, and I will be okay. Maybe that's a weird takeaway. Regardless, this is not supposed to be anything other than insightful entertainment. It's what I do best. Just know that I am the most grateful person alive. But I'm also keeping it real.
It all started with promise. Rachel Zegler was cast as Eva Peron in what was supposed to be her grand return to theater, a redemption arc, a career reset after months of public backlash. The press releases were glowing. The social media buzz was massive. For a moment, it seemed like she had the industry back on her side, but inside the theater, things unraveled fast.
Why is she starring in the West End version of Evita? I don't understand it. Is what I would say if I had no taste. Rachel Zegler, oh my god. When are you guys going to see how much of a powerhouse she is? I love Rachel Zegler so much. I just want to let you guys know that I will be sat front and center to see this icon slay Evita. Oh my god, I can't wait. I am gonna see it when it first opens. I already know that. I can't wait to see this diva. Oh my god!
Rehearsals reportedly turned into chaos. Rachel clashed with directors, ignored choreography, rewrote blocking, and worst of all, treated co-stars like backup dancers in the Rachel Zegler show. What was supposed to be a team effort started feeling like a hostage situation with one diva holding the production hostage. Then came the rebellion.
It is the real beginning of my life as a young lady of America. Of America.
According
to insider leaks, nearly half the cast approached producers and demanded her removal. A signed letter, a secret meeting, and ultimatum. It's her or us. The producers, stunned and scrambling, allegedly suspended Rachel from the production temporarily. But everyone knew what that really meant. She vanished from rehearsals. The marketing campaign pivoted. A replacement quietly stepped into the lead role. And fans, they were split. Some furious, others relieved.
And I've just been seeing video after video of grown adults calling this girl a narcissist. I think we extrapolate these moments that she expresses herself in a way that people are now perceiving as narcissistic. This is the nastiness of, being in Hollywood, I think, and being in the public eye, is that you can be torn down by the public and be so young. And I think this is probably going to be very damaging emotionally, mentally to her. And I don't know if any of us really think about that effect. So, I don't know.
Online memes exploded. Rachel Zegler kicked out of her own show. Eva the musical, minus the meltdown. People were glued to every new leak, every backstage rumor, TikTok threads, fan-made timelines. Even theater blogs were treating it like a season finale cliffhanger. And through it all, Rachel stayed silent.
What would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it.
I'm getting on the car. Hold on. Here. Hold on.
All right. Congrats, Rachel. Good luck.
No tweets.
No tweets, no Instagram posts, no statement, just total digital vanishing, like the scandal never happened. But silence doesn't mean surrender. And as we're about to find out, Rachel wasn't done with Evita. Not even close.
I was gonna get taken out of context, and I know that at this point I can't really stop people from doing that because that's what my whole existence on the internet is just me being taken out of context and stuff, which is fine. That's what I signed up for, isn't it?
Theater insiders call it radio silence. After Rachel Zegler's alleged removal from Evita, she didn't defend herself. She didn't fight back online. She didn't even hint at what had happened. No stories, no likes, no comments, nothing to the public. It looked like she'd ghosted the entire situation, but behind the curtain, Rachel never let go.
Never wanted to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have when I say that this has been the biggest adjustment of my life, understanding the way my life operates now, being who I am, and the things that I've been so fortunate to make.
According to several anonymous sources close to the production, Rachel was obsessed with Evita, even after she'd been sidelined. She reportedly kept messaging crew members for updates, asking which songs were being reworked and who was stepping into her scenes. One dancer even claimed Rachel showed up unannounced outside their apartment just to talk things through. Things got weird fast. A producer reportedly saw her car parked across the street from the theater 2 days in a row. A costume. Assistant said she caught a familiar figure peeking through the side stage loading dock before slipping away. At first, people brushed it off. Maybe she was just emotional, maybe she was saying goodbye, but it didn't stop. There were rumors Rachel had tried to re-enter the building through a service entrance and was turned away. Others claimed she contacted the new lead's vocal coach and asked for notes on how they were adjusting the role. It was like she couldn't accept being out one cast member. Allegedly said she wasn't just upset, she was still living the part. It was like Eva wasn't a role anymore, it was her identity. And while her name slowly disappeared from promo materials, fans began noticing something strange too. She unfollowed several cast members on Instagram. A few accounts posted and quickly deleted comments that hinted at someone watching from the wings. Even theatergoers reported spotting someone who looked exactly like Rachel in the back rows of late-night rehearsals. It was all speculation until it wasn't. Because what happened next wasn't a rumor. It wasn't whispered behind closed doors. It was loud, messy, and fully visible to everyone in the building. Rachel Zegler didn't just watch from a distance anymore. She walked. Back in. It was a normal afternoon at the theater. The cast had just wrapped vocal warm-ups. The crew was prepping act eye lighting cues. The new lead actress, calm-focused, stepped onto the stage for a full run-rough of the show's centerpiece number. And then everything stopped because standing near the wings behind a half-drawn curtain was someone who wasn't supposed to be there. Someone no one expected to see again. Rachel Zegler. According to 3 separate accounts, Rachel slipped into the building through a side entrance typically used by maintenance and security. How she got past the check-in system is still unclear. Some say she still had her access card. Others believe she was buzzed in by someone sympathetic. But what is clear is that she wasn't there by accident. Witnesses say she stood silently near the edge of the stage, arms crossed, watching her replacement perform her signature scene, the emotional, "Don't cry for me, Argentina." Word spread fast. You could feel the tension in the air like a storm waiting to break. One dancer reportedly whispered, "Is that Rachel?" Someone else said, "She's back." Why? Then came the confrontation. The new Evita lead allegedly stopped mid-line. When she noticed Rachel standing just off stage, one crew member said the silence was so thick you could hear a pin drop, and then someone snapped. A supporting cast member allegedly turned toward Rachel and shouted, "You're not supposed to be here." Rachel didn't flinch. She reportedly replied, "I'm just watching, I created this." That was the breaking point. A stagehand ran to alert production staff. 2 others followed, but Rachel reportedly refused to move, saying she just wanted to see how it was going. One source claimed she looked directly at the new lead and muttered, "Let's see if you can actually handle it." Chaos erupted. Lines were forgotten. Rehearsal halted. Several cast members reportedly walked off stage, demanding she be removed immediately. Security was eventually called, and this time it wasn't a whisper behind closed doors. Rachel Zegler had gone from controversial to full-on unwelcome, and what happened once she was confronted only made things worse. If the cast had any doubts before that day, erased them completely. Rachel Zegler didn't just show up uninvited, she created a scene that no one could ignore. Once security arrived, theater staff reportedly tried to de-escalate the situation, summing her down, ease her out quietly, but Rachel wasn't having it. According to someone close to the production, she snapped, "I gave everything to this role. You can't erase me." The new Evita lead, still standing in full costume, allegedly responded without missing a beat, then stopped trying to sabotage it. And that's when it all spiraled. Multiple witnesses claimed the cast and crew gathered around the confrontation, unsure whether to intervene or just stay out of the blast zone. One backstage worker said the atmosphere felt like a reality show meltdown, only nobody was acting. Rachel reportedly refused to leave. She kept insisting that the role was taken from her, that she deserved answers, and that the people who turned on her would regret it. Some claimed she tried to walk towards center stage before being blocked by crew members. Then came the breaking point. A senior producer allegedly approached her and asked her to step outside calmly, professionally. No drama, but Rachel, with eyes red and voice shaking, allegedly said, "This show was nothing until I made it something." And that's when a chorus of cast members reportedly shouted back, "And it's better without you." You could hear it echo down the halls, a moment of brutal honesty that shattered any illusion Rachel might have had about reclaiming her spot. Security escorted her out through the same side entrance she had used to sneak in. No applause, no final bow, just silence and the sound of doors locking behind her. Word spread instantly. Within hours, cast members were texting friends. Theaters across the city were buzzing. Screenshots of alleged DMs and blurry photos of Rachel near the wings surfaced on fan accounts and Reddit threads. It was official, Rachel Zegler wasn't just replaced. She'd become the villain of her own comeback story. And producers, they weren't done dealing with the fallout yet. What happened that day didn't stay behind closed doors. Within 24 hours of the confrontation, Evita's production office went into full lockdown mode. Staff were told not to speak to press. Cast members were reportedly reminded that their contracts included strict NDAs. Security measures were ramped up, keycard access was reset, and cameras near all entrances were reviewed, but the damage was already done. An anonymous staffer leaked that producers were furious, not just at the security breach, but at the fact that Rachel's presence had disrupted a critical run-through just days before preview performances. The lead actress, who had kept things professional until then, was reportedly shaken. By the ordeal, worse legal advisors allegedly began discussing next steps. One rumor claimed the production was exploring a restraining order not for danger but for peace of mind. Another said that Rachel might be blacklisted from future collaborations. With the theater company with emails already circulating among upper-tier Broadway producers, warning others about her behavior, even her former supporters were starting to distance themselves. A cast member who once